The journey to balance. When you hear the word balance, what comes to mind? Eating a balanced meal? Balancing your finances? Perhaps there are several more that come to mind. Oh, how about work-life balance? I tend to flip that one to life-work balance. Definitely that one I'm sure you've heard of before. October 28th, 2024, I wrote and sent out text messages about balance. The message said, quote, balance. When peace and serenity align, creating stability and leveling. Stability and leveling is needed to make wise decisions. When trying to operate in chaos, there is a tendency to make decisions out of fear and it becomes a rushed process. Life decisions are important enough to pause, review, and respond when balance is in place. Only you know when you are balanced enough to make the decisions you need to make. There are times when a quick decision is needed and balance may not be present. Make the best decision you can, as life must go on. End quote. There is a portion of that quote that I need to say again. Quote, life decisions are important enough to pause, review, and respond when balance is in place. End quote. It wasn't until November 13th, 2024, my 26th day of balance, that the statement I had said twice just now shook something deep within. I had trained myself in the past to wait for the ball to drop or for something to stop operating in working order. I had become so accustomed to an unbalanced lifestyle that whatever was going well was bound to have an ending. Do you know what waiting for something to stop operating well or for the ball to drop does to you? It makes you anxious, fearful, doubting that the good things happening for you are really for you. You question if you are really experiencing all of this positive stuff or if someone is going to jump out of the shadows and say, the joke is on you. Wow, that really is not a good way to live and operate daily. I am thankful I started to identify and appreciate what balance looks like for me. I cannot and will not try to determine what balance looks or feels like for others. I enjoy having the opportunity to share, as there may be nuggets of information that others can use on their journey. The journey to balance for me wasn't one that was on my list of things to do. I didn't realize how unbalanced I was until I started tracking how I felt each day when I woke up. It is something to go from a nagging pain in your lower back to no pain, to then realize and acknowledge how amazing it feels to be pain free. See, I accepted that I was going to have a little nagging pain in my lower back, and that was going to be life for me. I would find ways to lessen the pain, like stretching and using a heating pad nightly, only to understand that the nagging pain was just a physical issue that I had not dealt with the mental and emotional side of the issue. I was internalizing things, holding things in that really wasn't meant to be held on to, that I needed to let go. When I started letting go of the things that were out of my control, I continued to feel less and less stress on my back and on my shoulders. Taking the time to be honest with me that if I wanted to be in good health, that it had to be more than just eating habits and stretching, that I had to take a commitment to releasing things that did not serve me mentally and emotionally to gain better health. It was time to wake up each day and pause to acknowledge the gift of the brand new day ahead of me, giving thanks that things are in working order, waiting a few minutes and doing a check with myself from head to toe. Is everything pain-free? Is my mind clear to process the newness of this day? What are we doing today? After going through the new checklist, it helps me to put things in perspective. It allows me the time to review if I am balanced or if something is off. When I process the level of balance, I didn't know what I was missing. There may be people out there that have been operating in balance for a long time. I can only imagine what years of balance would look like. Yet, on this balance journey for me, I am not focusing on the future. Part of why I am able to operate in the balance level I am in today is because I'm focusing on today, the present moment, allowing myself to move and groove with the flow, allowing myself moments to pause and reflect, reminding myself of having and operating in balance is a gift that is precious to me and is worthy of me taking care of. That the not being easily swayed moments returns me to calm, to answer this or that. The sense of accomplishment of not participating in conversations that will tip the scales one way or another. This is how I knew I was operating in balance these past 26 days. I received a phone call about a matter that required my attention, and while operating in balance, I reviewed the message, took notes, paused, and then provided an answer. When I was operating in a poorly balanced state of mind, I would have gotten so amped up, creating multiple plans to solve the one situation and acting out of haste, potentially causing more damage than good. I am talking about this scenario because I need the constant reminders to keep building my foundation of balance, helping to secure this precious commodity. I am not speaking of balance out of not having any cares of the world or that I will not have any disruptions. I am speaking from a standpoint of how I can now react and respond to the cares and disruptions when they show up. When it is said that you are what you eat, to me, what you eat is not just food that you ingest. It is also the things you take in mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If you want to operate in balance, you cannot receive all things into your space. You will need to work through what things stay and what things go. Another way I have gained balance is focusing on what I need and allowing myself time to process through those things. Additionally, allowing others to solve their own areas of concern. I am still here to listen and help, yet I know that you become the person you want to be by learning who you are and what you need. My balance has been gained through understanding me, what I enjoy, what fuels me, what keeps me grounded, how I receive information and how I use it, operating in my realm of control and appreciating the steps along the way. At moments, it is different to describe because it is so new. The daily tracker brings me great joy. I noticed since I started tracking my days of balance that I can notice things faster if something is off. I had something that changed in my body and I was able to acknowledge it in that moment. And in times past, I would start to make comments of, it must have been this or it must have been that, because I wasn't being intentional in monitoring what I was doing. This time around, I was able to pinpoint what it was and determine what to do to stop it from getting progressively worse. I've heard people say take control over your mind and your body. Sometimes there are examples, and those are great. I have come to realize that when on your personal journey to anything, you can listen to stories, pick up tips, and even try them out. But until you spend some quality time with yourself, none of those books you read, things you listen to, seminars, conferences, prayer meetings, and so forth and so on will have the desired results you want to yield if you are not spending time with you. Operating in balance encourages me to continue to have peaceful, tranquil, serenity-filled moments and days. I like the way it feels on me to be balanced. I look forward to each start of my day and how I will operate in balance. I recommend you going through an exercise of writing down what balance looks and feels like to you. Then allow yourself to build your balancing tools to help grow you and your journey to destination greatness.